All right, what do we do if we're writing music and we're not inspired, but we want to be writing music? That's what we're going to get into. Hey, I'm Isaac Schanno Johnson. If you don't know me, I'm a musician, composer, producer, and I make videos about all that fun stuff. Music composition, music production. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to see videos like this in the future. I've been reading a book by Aaron Copland called What to Listen For in Music. I just finished it. I love it. I love that book. It has so many good ideas about what to listen for in music, right? It has so many ideas to do the exact thing that the title is about. And there's one quote in there that I wanted to make a video about. So let me read you a quote from the book. Someone once asked me in a public forum whether I waited for inspiration. My answer was every day. But that does not by any means imply a passive waiting around for the divine afflatus. That is exactly what separates the professional from the dilettante. The professional composer can sit down day after day and turn out some kind of music. On some days, it will undoubtedly be better than on others. But the primary fact is the ability to compose. Inspiration is often only a byproduct. I know that quote can kind of sound a little pretentious, but I really like his wording and how he chose to describe this, because what do you do when you don't have inspiration to write music, but you want to write lots of music? Well, write. Keep writing. You're gonna write something that's bad, but get used to writing something, even if it is bad, for that day. Maybe you don't sit for 3 hours writing a piece of music, but you want to write something, so then you write something, and it's bad, and you throw it away, and you never hear it again, and you never want anybody else to hear it. That's fine, but I like the last sentence, where he says, inspiration is often only a byproduct. Because from learning how to write music, from studying music, from going to college and writing lots of music and studying composition, the main thing I've learned is that inspiration is not necessary. You don't need to be inspired to write a good piece of music. You don't need to be inspired to write a piece of music you're proud of. My song, Caffeinated, was not inspired. I didn't start writing that song after having some inspiration, after hearing a piece of music and being like, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to write this piece of music, and being really inspired. I wrote that song after I made a cup of coffee and I was like, let's make some music today. And that's what I made. And now I think it's great. I became inspired from starting. I started to write a piece of music. I sat at the piano. I was like, let's think of a chord progression. All right, cool. E flat major 7, G minor 7, but we have a D in the bass, so it sounds a little interesting. That's how I started. And then after I played around with that, after I made the beat, after I created the sounds, I got inspired to play some piano. And then I played some piano on top of it. And that's what you hear in the song now. So this idea that inspiration is necessary to write music isn't true, at least in my case. I don't need inspiration to write music because I get inspired after having started, and I've gotten used to thinking of random ideas and being like, nah, that's garbage. I never want to hear that again. And then I throw it out and nobody ever hears it again. But I've gotten used to this idea of just writing. You sit down, you write something. You throw it out. You never hear it again if you don't like it. But then you think of a different idea. And then you think of a different idea. And then you think of a different idea. And eventually you find an idea you like. And then that's what inspires you. The inspiration is a byproduct of doing it, not necessarily something that causes you to do this thing. You don't need it from the beginning to start writing music to be inspired. Start writing a piece of music. If it's garbage, keep writing it and write a garbage piece of music. After you're done, throw it out, delete it from your computer, get rid of it, forget it ever happened. But you had a piece of music that you write. Write another one. Once you write that other one, maybe you'll be inspired by that, and then you'll start to create this better idea, this better piece of music. I have tons of music on my computer back there that is horrible. I have so many pieces that are just bad, and I never want to release them. But part of writing the good music that I do want to release is writing the bad music and getting rid of that and making sure nobody ever hears it again. And then only focusing on the stuff that I like, and then being like, here, this is all the music I write. It all sounds really good. And then you pretend as if that's the only stuff you write. But it's not. You write all of this other stuff. The stuff you show people is the stuff that you think is good. I kind of think of it as being similar to playing an instrument. If you want to get better at piano or guitar, you play piano or guitar. That's what you do. You practice. You get better. You play stuff poorly and then you play them better. And then the next day you play them even better than that. And eventually they sound really good. That's what writing music is to me. You write music, it's not good. You don't ever want anyone to hear it. But then you write something else and maybe that's good. And then the next thing you write, maybe that's not better necessarily. It's not something you're more proud of, but it has different ideas. And then you write something else that is better. You keep writing and 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 writing, and eventually you write some music that is good. That's what writing is to me. It's kind of like practicing an instrument. Maybe for the first 3 years it's not good. Fine. Nobody needs to hear it for the first 3 years. Sort of like playing guitar. You might have a recital, you might release some music that's not very good. In 3 years, you might think it's not very good at least. That's fine. What happens then? You write something else. You write something better, right? You keep writing, you keep working at it, and eventually you'll write something that you're really proud of. That is really good. Keep writing. Write something bad. Even if you're not inspired. If you want to write music but you're not inspired, write some music, whether it's inspired or not, whether you think it's good or not. Write it. Put it down on paper. Decide that it's not good. Move on and write something else. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. I hope you learned something about music. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.